So this is one of those products that looks almost too simple to care about at first glance. It's an SSD. It goes in your computer. It makes things faster. That's it. But every once in a while, a product shows up that tries to push that simplicity into something a lot more interesting by bringing high-end performance down into a price range where most people can actually justify upgrading. That's where this comes in. This is the Kingston NV3, 1 TB NVMe SSD. It's a PCIe Gen4 drive, rated for speeds up to 6,000 megabytes per second. And if you've been following SSDs for a while, you already know that number used to be reserved for some of the fastest, more expensive drives on the market. Now it's showing up in something that's targeting mainstream builders, gamers, and everyday users who just want their systems to feel faster without thinking too hard about it. But specs on a box don't really tell the full story. So I dropped this into a test system and started using it the way most people actually would. Booting into Windows, launching apps, loading games, moving large video files, and just seeing where it holds up and where it doesn't. And the first impression is exactly what you'd expect from a modern Gen 4 drive. Everything feels instant. Boot times are quick, applications open with almost no delay. And if you're coming from a SATA SSD or even an older NVMe Gen 3 drive, the difference is immediately noticeable. It's not subtle. It's one of those upgrades where you don't need benchmarks to tell you something changed. You just feel it. Then you get into file transfers. Large files, especially multi-gigabyte video projects or game installs, move extremely fast at first. You hit that peak performance range, and it just flies. This is where that 6,000 megabytes per second rating actually shows up in real usage, at least in short bursts. But like a lot of SSDs in this category, there's a catch you start to notice under longer sustained workloads. After a certain point, when the cache fills up, speeds can drop, not to a crawl, but noticeably below peak performance. And that's something you only really see if you're constantly writing huge files or doing heavy content creation work. For gaming, though, it's basically perfect. Load times in modern titles are extremely fast. Fast travel, level loading, shader compilation. Everything benefits from the high random rev performance. And honestly, this is where most people will feel the upgrade the most. Because games don't need sustained write speeds. They need quick access. And this drive delivers in a way that feels snappy and responsive. Thermals are also something worth mentioning. Under normal use, it stays pretty controlled. No dramatic spikes. No worrying over heating behavior in a properly ventilated system. But like most NVMe drives, if you bear it under heavy continuous transfers, it will warm up. Nothing unusual there, but still something to keep in mind depending on your setup. Now the bigger question, who is this actually for? Because on one side, you've got people building budget gaming PCs who just want something fast and reliable without overspending on storage. On the other side, you've got more serious users, editors, developers, creators, who might push storage harder and expect sustained performance under pressure. And this drive sits right in the middle of that conversation. It's not trying to be the absolute fastest SSD on the market. It's not competing with high-end Gen 4 drives with massive heatsinks and top-tier NAND configurations. Instead, it's aiming for something a lot more practical. High-end speed for everyday workloads, at a price that makes upgrading feel easy instead of excessive. And that's kind of the theme here. Because when you step back, most people don't actually need the fastest possible SSD on paper. They need something that feels fast in real life. Something that makes their system responsive, their games load quickly, and their workflow feels smoother. And in that sense, the Kingston NV3 delivers exactly what it's supposed to. It makes your system feel modern again. Not in a flashy way, not in a benchmark-obsessed way, but in a quiet, everyday performance boost that you notice more the longer you use it. And for most people, that's the upgrade that actually matters.